Hey there traders, this is Steve Miley, the market chartist for FX Explained with our regular weekly Macro Watch update for the week commencing the 5th of July 2021. Share averages stay strong through US employment reports. So let's kick off looking at the macroeconomic and geopolitical developments of the past week. Well, it's been a fairly quiet week actually on that side, on the macro side. Global manufacturing purchase managers index data from Markit, and in the US, the ISM PMI data broadly beat consensus, and with the ISM data above 50% for a 13th straight month. And then on Friday, we got the US employment report, which saw the non-farm payroll element at 850,000 jobs added, beating the median expectations of 720,000, though the unemployment rate did edge higher to 5.9%. So overall, a good report. Elsewhere, we saw still no agreement on the oil production amongst OPEC Plus as the United Arab Emirates continue to object to the deal that's currently on the table, leaving oil prices at elevated levels. So let's take a look at the financial market developments of the last week, the week ending 2nd July. Well, we had the S&P 500 pushing to yet another new record high, still looking very bullish. And European equity indices not quite so strong. The DAX here kind of sideways over the last 2 to 3 weeks, but nevertheless just below the all-time high and staying strong, rebounding whenever the market has dipped. On the FX side, the US dollar stays strong, pushing to yet another new recovery high as we went into early July. But we did see a setback after the US employment report on Friday. And similarly, the euro remains weak against the dollar with that US dollar strength, although again, the euro did bounce slightly on Friday, and the pound as well weakening throughout the week, pushing to new lows in the early part of July, but again bouncing with the US dollar weakness that we saw post the employment report Friday. Moving to the commodity space, gold has managed a small bounce as we saw that slightly weakening dollar, but nevertheless gold remains vulnerable from the sell-off that we've seen previously in here, May through June. And we also saw oil continuing its rally, pushing to new highs through last week into the end of last week, although it was slightly indecisive after that OPEC meeting in here as we went into the end of the week. And copper is still trying to bounce, a kind of sideways week last week, still trying to bounce, having had the slight rebound in June, having had the weakness through May and the first part of June. Let's now take a look at the week ahead, the week commencing the 5th of July. Well, US Independence Day holiday is observed on Monday, the 5th of July. US markets closed. We had the monitoring for lockdown easings in Europe and the UK, particularly focus in the UK going into this week with a potential announcement expected. And we'll also continue to watch COVID-19 cases, particularly that Delta variant, although the link between cases and then hospitalizations and deaths is starting to break down. On the central bank, on our central bank watch, we had the RBA, the Reserve Bank of Australia, in play with their interest rate decision and statement on Tuesday, whilst we get the Fed, the FOMC meeting minutes released on Wednesday. And then looking at the data for the week, we get global market services and composite PMI on Monday during that US Independence Day holiday. We get the RBA interest rate decision, as we said there, on Tuesday. EU retail sales data and German ZEW survey also, and the US ISM services PMI all on Tuesday. German industrial production comes on Wednesday with the release of those FOMC minutes later in the day. Nothing really of significance on Thursday, and on Friday we get Chinese CPI, UK GDP, industrial production and manufacturing production, and also Canadian employment reports. I'm going to wish you all a great trading day. Stay safe out there, and I'll be back with you soon with another Macro Watch. So traders, don't forget to catch us on the next FX Explained Macro Watch and all the great content on fxexplained.co.uk.